Welcome back. We continue our series checking in with mayors from around the Lowcountry to see what's happening in your corner of the world. This week we welcome Summerville's Mayor Ricky Waring. Great to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And I've had a fascinating conversation with him thus far. He's been giving me his resume of all the public offices that you've held over the course of years. And it started with the fire department.
Right.
You decided to retire, but then in 2020 you ran. You were elected mayor. So why did you decide that you wanted to come back into public office again?
I didn't like the way the town was being run.
Is that right?
You know, to be honest with you. And the council and the mayor that was there were arguing constantly. And it just wasn't a unified government like it was. And I waited and listened and waited and listened and you know, and finally said, well, I'm going to run. We had some major projects that we started working on, you know, right after I got to be mayor. The Berlin-Myers Parkway was one of my main things that I wanted to get started on because it had been dormant for a good many years. Nobody was pushing it. And so I started on it with the Army Corps of Engineers, and then it kind of had to take, everything took a back seat during COVID, as you well know.
Absolutely.
And so we concentrated on just keeping the town going and trying to pick up the garbage and pick up the trash and do the things that you got to do and look out for our employees. There were a lot of employees working from home, and just like every other business was doing.
Do you feel that in the last couple of years that you feel that you've turned the town around a bit? That you're starting to see some semblance of what you're
kind of
familiar
slowed down,
with?
we went right back to work on the parkway. We had a great team of players with Lindsey Graham, Ms. Hall with the Department of Transportation, myself and Terry Jenkins on council.
Because it really does take a team. It takes a team of people that can all come together and work together. Yeah. Summerville, it's got quite a history that goes way, 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 way back, and being sort of a vacation spot for people who have certain respiratory issues, that they would come and Summerville would be their haven. And now it's turned into this wonderful community, this thriving community, and we're seeing a lot more businesses now moving into Summerville. So as we're starting to see that growth taking place, what are you hoping over the course of the next year to see coming up through the town? Well,
we still got that growth going. It hadn't slowed down one bit, even though, you know, they say the economy's slowing down and you know, we may be going into a recession. We hadn't seen that yet in Summerville, and hopefully we won't. It seems to be turning around, I think, and I hope it is. Summerville's got almost too much growth.
Over the course of the 175 years that it's existed, and then all of a sudden it's like,
bam,
right? So it's very difficult to kind of keep up with all of that, but I think people love living there. You've got a lot of people who love calling Summerville home, and it'll be really exciting to see what's coming up in 2023. So do you plan on running again for mayor? Are you hoping to stay in your...
I'm going to give it up.
Are you?
Yeah.
You ready to pass the torch?
One term is good enough for me.
Are you sure? I don't know. You've already established your history of being in public office for many years.
It would take something pretty drastic for me to change my mind.
All right, so if you're not mayor, what are you doing?
Gonna go to council meetings and sit back and see what happens.
He didn't say fishing. Maybe a little bit of that?
I might do a little fishing. I used to fish some.
A little recreation, never hurt anybody.
That's right.
I want to thank you so much, Mayor, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
It's been great.
Thank you.
It really has.
We're back in 2 minutes.
Thank you.